In this video, we're going to talk about unit circle. First, unit circle is a circle that has a radius of 1. So if this is a center to any part of the circle will be 1. That's why the point over here is 1, 0, and point over here is 0, 1. A unit circle is a nice tool to evaluate trig functions. Now, let's see why or how they got 16-point unit circle here. Let's say the degree is 30 or pi over 6 radian. When you draw a triangle from center to the point on the circle and draw a vertical line down to the x-axis. So you get a right triangle. Now you know that the R is 1 and this angle right here is 30. Now what is this angle over here then? That's going to be 60. So you notice that we have 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. What's opposite of 30? Is 1/2. What's opposite of 60? Radical 3 over 2. That's how they got radical 3 over 2, comma 1 over 2, using 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. If you use a similar logic or reasoning, you could also get radical 2 over 2, radical 2 over 2, and so forth in the first quadrant. Now, what about theta is 120 degree? So here's a terminal side, and the theta is going to be 120 degree. Let's draw a triangle. Now you have a right triangle. Since theta is 120 degree, the reference angle will be 60. So it will be 60, 30, 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. What's opposite of 30 is 1/2. What's opposite of 60? Radical 3 over 2. And of course, opposite of 90 will be 1 because this is a unit circle. That's why this point right here will be, now notice, this is in second quadrant. That's why you get negative 1 over 2 and radical 3 over 2. So I hope you get the idea of how we got this 16 points on a circle. All we did was use quadrantal angle, 30, 60, 90 degree triangle, and 45, 45, 90 degree triangle. Now let's see why unit circle is so useful. Let's say you want to evaluate sine of pi over 3. This is the same thing as sine of 60 degree. They're the same thing. Now let's look at 60 degree over here. You know that x equals 1 over 2, y is radical 3 over 2. And r is always going to be 1 because this is a unit circle. And you know that sine of 60 is going to be y over r, which is going to be radical 3 over 2 over 1, which is just radical 3 over 2. See how simple it is? Now to find the cosine of 135, let's look at 135 over here. And you notice that x is negative radical 2 over 2, and y is radical 2 over 2. And you know that cosine is x over r, so x is negative radical 2 over 2 over 1, which is just this value right here. So cosine of 135 is negative radical 2 over 2. Now what about tangent of 270 degree? 270 degree is a quadrantal angle. It's right here. And x is 0 and y is negative 1. And you know that tangent is y over x. So negative 1 over 0, which is undefined. So tangent of 270 degree does not exist. Now what about cosecant of 11 pi over 6? Well, 11 pi over 6 is the same thing as pi over 6 is 30. 30 times 11 is 330 degrees. So 330 degrees is right here. So x equals radical 3 over 2 and y is negative 1 over 2. And what is the definition of cosecant? It is r over y. So 1 over negative 1 over 2, which will be negative 2. So cosecant of 11 pi over 6 is negative 2. So using a 16-point unit circle, you could easily evaluate trig functions. However, you need to get to know how to get these 16 points on your own using 30, 60, 90 degree triangle, 45, 45, 90 degree triangle, and quadrantal angles.